All right, questions for Grant. We'll go to in-person first.
Yeah, I think in the beginning we were getting a lot of good looks. Shots weren't falling. They were making a lot of tough shots, and sometimes that's how the game flows. So it's just a matter of rallying back and relying on your defense and competing. And throughout the game, we showed that. We came back and fought back into getting back into the game, make it competitive throughout. And then those last 3 minutes, I guess we were up by 7, and then they run that 13-0 run. I think that's just more so they switched up their defense to that box and one. We were getting some good looks and opportunities, and then sometimes some of the shots weren't falling, and then it kind of threw us off a bit. I feel like it looked like. And then defensively, we kind of had a couple of breakdowns, or they hit a couple. Shouts to them, they hit a couple tough shots. Deontay Murray hit a tough 2 over Dennis to put it up by 3, and then we just missed that 3 and kind of got the foul after that. So that's how the chain of events goes. We put ourselves in that position just by how we started the game. So necessarily we fought to come back, but you don't deserve to win a game when you come out like that. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just understanding what it takes to win every single night. That intensity, that passion, that effort that you have to come in every night, and every team you got to put your foot on their throats. And at times, if you don't see that, and that's something we have to be better at from the start of the game, from the start of the tip off. We have to come out with more intensity and come out with more of that umph, and that'll set us moving forward. And that's something that as a team we have to challenge ourselves to do, because we're young, I guess you could say, and all these things we say those excuses over the past 3 years so that I've been here, and that excuse we're trying to be better than that. We're trying to be more than that, and that's our next step is becoming that team where every single night you're going to get their best bet, and you have to beat them. They're not beating themselves. It's a collective. We have to hold each other to that standard, that highest accountability standard, where each one of us, when you see a person that may not be locked in that night or may not be playing with that intensity, like you call them out on it. And that's the next step is understanding that nothing on the court is personal. Like, we're here to be the best team we can be, best team. And that takes all of us. And it's not one person, and it's never going to be one person. It's going to be the collective, and we're going to do this together. And that's the step we have to take moving forward. Twist.
All right, we'll go to Zoom questions. Let's start with John Krause.
Hey, Grant. I'm sorry, I can't hear the questions being asked, so I apologize if this is being repetitive. But you talked there about being a team. First of all, do you feel like you're not quite a cohesive team yet? And secondly, what do you attribute the poor starts to games that are consistently happening to?
Yeah, no, that's not what I mean whatsoever. We're a team. We've been a team. It's just more so what I'm saying is we have to hold one another to that standard every single night. That's something that is what a team does, and that's what the best teams do. No matter when you look back over the course of years, you see that vocal presence, you see them getting on one another, and that stays on the court. And that's something that we have to be better at it from the start of games. In the beginning of games, we have to come out with that more and punch the other team in the mouth. A lot of times we take that first punch and we're great at responding. We're a great counter punch team, But imagine if we were able to knock somebody out in the first round and then continue to knock them out throughout if they keep getting up. And that's something we have to be better at, because like we said, we get big leads and then we take our foot off the gas, or we start off the game and then we come back in it. Like, we're not ever that team that next thing you know, you look up and then dang, it went from 20 to 40 just like that. You look at teams across the league over the past couple of years, you look at teams like the Bucks, you look at teams like the Warriors of the past, you look at teams like the Spurs of the past. Like, when they played, like, you knew that, and especially on their home court, you weren't getting to win. And then on the road games, you were going to have to fight for that. So right now we're kind of in that up and down flow, rather than saying like, okay, you're playing the Boston Celtics and that's the team that you're playing against.
Final question, Mark Murphy.
Hey, Grant, considering that you guys as a team came in with the shots not falling, do you think perhaps people are so focused on making shots and trying to get something going that you're maybe overlooking doing things defensively?
Yeah, we always say don't let your offense dictate your defense, and that's something that we have to be better at. When our defense is the best, our offense follows suit. Whether that's next to, it's a 94 to 100 and something game, or even that's 70 to 80. Like, we're defending and the other team's working for every basket. And that's something that we have to put our focal point on, because when we're a top 3 defense in the league, like, there's not much you can do against that. Like, we have all the capable guys. We have the team that we need. We have the scorers. We have the playmakers. We have the defenders. We have the shooters. And I trust every single one of the guys on this team to do their job. So it's just a matter of going out there and executing with one another, and not letting our youth, like, quote unquote, or anything like that, allow us to make excuses for one another. We have to challenge ourselves and understand that since we have that talent, we have that ability, we have that potential, like, it has to be now, not in time 3 years from now, not next year. It's like, this is the time.
All right, we'll wrap it up right there. Thanks, Grant.